People usually say the best teams win because they pass sharper, press harder, or simply have more talent on the pitch. For years, I believed that too. It sounded right, and in some ways it is. But then I went through 15 full seasons of LaLiga data, and honestly, it changed the way I see football. What really stood out wasn't just the usual stuff like fitness or tactics. It wasn't only about speed, strength, or who had the biggest stars. The biggest difference was in how players actually see the game and how they carry themselves when the pressure starts to build. The numbers point to it. You can see patterns of calm decision-making, smart choices in tough moments, and a level of consistency that weaker teams don't have. But it's not just in the stats. You can feel it if you watch closely. The body language, the confidence when momentum swings, the refusal to panic when the stadium is against them, it all tells the story. That mindset is not some small detail. It's the foundation. It's the thing that separates a strong team from a great one, and a great one from a champion. Over a season, it's the difference between chasing results and controlling your destiny. And that makes me wonder, if the mental side is what truly sets them apart, then why can't you start training your mind the same way you train your legs or your lungs? What's stopping you from thinking like the very best? Study, setup, and importance. Researchers followed the top 3 and bottom 3 teams in La Liga, 15 years, from 2010 to 2025, hundreds of games, same league, same opponents, same rules. But the way they played, honestly, worlds apart. And here's why that matters. When you put the very best against the ones who struggled most, the contrast is brutal. Winning teams don't just play differently, they think differently. You can see it. The calm after conceding, the belief when momentum shifts, the way they don't panic, even when the whole stadium feels against them. That's mentality. That's what keeps them on top. Now flip it. Struggling teams, same mistakes over and over, heads drop, confidence disappears, and it doesn't matter who the coach is or which players come in, the pattern repeats. And here's the crazy part. That difference didn't change across 15 years. It wasn't luck. It wasn't one golden generation. It was mindset. The winners carried it. The bottom teams never found it. So yeah, tactics and talent matter. But if you really want to last, if you want to stand out when it counts, you've got to build that mentality. Because in football, like in life, the way you think is the way you win. Finding one, quality over quantity. So here's the thing. A lot of people think top teams just shoot more, right? More chances, more goals. Simple math. But when you actually look at it, that's not really the case. The best teams aren't just firing off shots left and right, they're picking their moments. Most of their big chances, they come from close range, right inside those dangerous areas. And it's usually not by accident. It's after they've been patient, passing, moving defenders around, waiting for that one opening to finally appear. You watch them and it's like they know the goal will come. They don't have to force it. Now compare that to the bottom teams. Totally different picture. You see a lot more pot shots from 30 yards out, rushed strikes with defenders all over them, wild swings from impossible angles. And yeah, every once in a while one of those flies in and the crowd goes crazy. But if you look at the bigger picture, most of the time it's wasted chances. It's frustration football. And this is where mentality comes in. Because it's not just about skill. It's not only tactics. It's patience. It's calmness. It's having the discipline to keep playing your game even when the pressure's on, even when the fans are shouting shoot, even when the clock is running down and everyone feels tense. That's the real difference. The best teams don't panic. They don't rush. They don't care if the shot count is low at halftime. They care about quality. They care about creating the right kind of chance, the one that puts the odds heavily in their favor. That's why when they pull the trigger, it looks easy. It looks simple. But behind that moment was patience, trust, and a clear plan. Meanwhile, struggling sides fall into the trap. They get desperate, they start taking chances that aren't really there, and once you get into that cycle, it's hard to break it because frustration builds and confidence drops. So yeah, shooting more doesn't make you better. Shooting smarter does, and that's a mentality thing. The top teams understand it. They trust the process. They know that waiting for the right moment is what wins games. Not rushing just because the clock's ticking. And honestly, that's a lesson that works outside football too. Sometimes the difference between winning and losing, between success and failure, is knowing when to hold your nerve and when to strike. Finding 2, controlling without defending. Top teams don't spend 90 minutes flying into tackles. And it's not because they're magically better defenders or faster athletes, it's because they don't let the game get to that point. They control it before it gets dangerous, watch them closely, they control the space, they keep the ball, and they set the pace of the match. By the time the opponent even gets forward, they've already closed off the angles, already pushed them where they want them to go. It's not desperation, it's control. Now flip it and watch the bottom sides. Completely different story. They're always reacting, chasing shadows, sliding in just to survive, throwing bodies in the way, scrambling back toward their own goal because they've been pulled out of shape. And sure, sometimes it works for a while, but you can feel it. The pressure builds, the legs get heavy, and the confidence drains away. That style doesn't just wear you down physically, it eats at you mentally. You start playing scared, just hoping to survive instead of trying to impose yourself. And here's the mentality cue. The best teams defend on their terms. They don't let you choose when to attack. They decide that for you. That's why they look calm, why they look organized, why they don't seem to panic. They're in control, even without the ball. That's the difference. Great teams defend with their head first, their legs second. Finding 3, consistency versus adaptation. The best teams don't change who they are just because they're playing away. Their style goes with them, confident, steady, and ready to work against anyone, anywhere. Struggling teams, that's different. Once they're away from home, you see them sitting deeper, playing safe, and taking fewer chances. Sure, it can seem like the smart thing to do, but more often than not, it's a sign they don't fully trust themselves. Mentality cue. If you really believe in your game, you stick to it, even when the crowd's hostile and the pressure's cranked up. Real match examples. Think about Barcelona under Luis Enrique. They attacked the same way whether they were at the Camp Nou or playing miles away. Or Atletico Madrid at their peak with Simeone. Tight, disciplined, but still confident no matter where they played. Now compare that to teams fighting relegation. One week they're pressing high at home, the next they've got 10 men parked behind the ball away. It's not that they can't attack, it's that they don't believe they can afford to. The mentality gap in training. It's an uncomfortable truth. Many teams spend training time on what's easy to control, not on what wins matches. Defensive shape drills, shooting from distance, they look productive, but rarely mirror the chaos of real games. Top teams take a different path. They rehearse quick, tight combinations in the box, sharpen their control during rapid transitions, and demand precision when players are at their most tired. They put themselves under match-like pressure every session, so when it happens for real, it feels familiar. That's the difference. Not just practicing, but practicing the moments that actually decide results. Takeaway and challenge to viewer. If you're a coach or a player, it's worth asking yourself honestly. Are you preparing just to survive, or are you preparing to truly impose your game on others? There's a world of difference between the two. Surviving means reacting, playing safe, and hoping for chances. Imposing yourself means shaping the match on your terms, forcing opponents to adapt to you. Across 15 years of data, one truth stands out. The mindset you commit to will shape your results more than any single tactic. In football, mentality isn't just a detail, it's the foundation of everything you do. If you liked this breakdown, stick around for more football insights that dig deeper than the final score. Every week, I break down the patterns, decisions, and mindsets that separate the best teams from the rest. But this isn't just me talking at you. I want to hear from you, too. When you watch your team, what's the biggest mentality hurdle you notice? Is it staying calm under pressure, keeping discipline off the ball, or believing in themselves when it matters most? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'll be going through every single one.